We begin by this breaking news. A US Marine who killed transgender woman in Philippines is ordered released. A United States Marine, who was convicted in 2015 of killing a transgender woman in the Philippines, has been ordered released, drawing protests from activists. Lance Corporal Joseph Scott Pemberton, then 20, was convicted of homicide in the 2014 death of Jennifer Laude, 26. In December 2015, a judge convicted Pemberton of homicide, not the more serious charge of murder that prosecutors sought. The Olongapo court judge said at the time that she downgraded the charge because factors such as cruelty and treachery had not been proven. He was sentenced to 6 to 12 years in prison, which was later reduced to 10, and has since been held at Camp Aguinaldo, the Philippine military headquarters in Manila. Pemberton has been serving his sentence in a compound, jointly guarded by Philippine and American security personnel at the main military camp in Manila. Under the terms of the Visiting Forces Agreement, Pemberton is not allowed to be held in a Philippine jail. The Olongapo City Regional Trial Court granted an appeal from Lance Corporal Pemberton on Tuesday and directed the Bureau of Corrections to release him. The court reasoned that he had served almost 6 years, including the time between his arrest and conviction, and that combined with a good conduct time allowance he had exceeded the 10 years. The Laude family has also received $100,000 in civil damages. Presidential spokesman Harry Roque, who used to serve as one of the Laude family's lawyers, is opposing the decision, saying Lance Corporal Pemberton's release showed that the United States still exerted strong influence in the Philippines, its former colony, that is a major non-NATO ally with which Washington also has a mutual defense treaty and a key ally in Asia-Pacific region. Lance Corporal Pemberton met Ms. Laude in a nightclub in Olongapo City, about 100 miles north of Manila, in October 2014, while he was in the Philippines for joint military exercises. According to closed-circuit television footage presented at his trial, they entered a hotel room together, but the Marine left alone shortly after. Ms. Laude was later found dead in the room by a hotel worker, who testified that she was slumped over the toilet, apparently with a broken neck. In his testimony, Lance Corporal Pemberton admitted to choking Ms. Laude and rendering her unconscious, but said she had still been breathing when he left. His lawyers argued that Lance Corporal Pemberton had felt raped after Ms. Laude performed oral sex on him without disclosing that she was transgender. Pemberton, an anti-tank missile operator from New Bedford, Massachusetts, was one of thousands of American and Philippine military personnel who participated in joint exercises in the country in 2014. He and a group of other Marines were on leave after the exercises and met Laude and her friends at a bar in Olongapo, a city known for its nightlife outside Subic Bay, a former US Navy base. Laude was later found dead, her head slumped in a toilet bowl, in a motel room, where witnesses said she and Pemberton had checked in. A witness told investigators that Pemberton said he choked Laude after discovering she was transgender. The Marine's trial had complicated relations between the United States and the Philippines, which have a long-standing security alliance that is seen as a counterweight to China's growing might in the region. Opponents of American military involvement in the Philippines linked the Pemberton case to the 1999 Visiting Forces Agreement, which sets out the rules for criminal cases involving visiting troops, and the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, which was signed 6 months before Laude's death, and made it easier for the United States to bring in thousands of troops for extended rotations. The court order has rekindled perceptions that American military personnel who run afoul of Philippine laws can get special treatment under the Allies' Visiting Forces Agreement, which provides the legal framework for the temporary visits of US forces in the country for large-scale combat exercises. Pemberton's lawyer, Rowena Garcia Florest, said his detention was shortened by authorities under a Philippine law that allows the reduction of prison terms for good conduct. A lawyer for the Laude family, Virginia Suarez, said the law cannot apply to Pemberton, who has been detained alone in a military camp and given other special privileges under the Visiting Forces Agreement. Hola. Thanks for listening.